Good day, everybody. Rob here at WesternPacificWeather.com. It is currently the 13th of December, 2010, right around 1900 Japan Standard Time out here. And we're going to get right into this, actually. Watching Tropical Depression 19W, or Whiskey down here, very, very disorganized. I guess earlier in the day, especially this morning, it did have some good circulation associated with it, but it encountered some very intense increased vertical wind shear, especially along the northern periphery here, and plus started interacting with the landmass here over Vietnam, and now you can't even really tell exactly where it is in here, but the center of circulation is right in this region, and that circulation is very faintly there, actually showing this pass right around 03Z. That's right about 1200 Japan Standard Time, just showing a very weak circulation here off the southeast coast of Vietnam. So definitely is there, but it is drifting off towards the northwest, going to be very, very weak at landfall by the afternoon of tomorrow. And here showing JTWC, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center out of Pearl Harbor, showing its final warning on this system. Current winds of 20 gusting up to 30 knots. No other agencies really picked up on this system, and it wasn't really much of anything to start with, but we are going to see this gradually drift towards the northwest and eventually basically dissipate right at landfall over southeast of Vietnam. So you could see some increase in precipitation here, but nothing too severe. Actually, if we just look off to the north, there is a very large, broad area of precipitation over much of Japan, extending out to Korea. We've been talking about this area for about a week now, but now it actually did develop a very large baroclinic leaf associated with this. And actually, we look at the radar from JMA. You can see this whole mass amount of precipitation extending all the way from Hokkaido all the way down towards the Ryukyu Islands. Some very light snowfall actually being reported up here in the northern edges of Hokkaido, but most of this is in the form of rain throughout this entire region, and a few convective cells actually associated with it as well. Now, as this area of low pressure drifts off towards the northeast over Japan, moving out in that direction about 25 knots, so moving rather rapidly for a baroclinic low here, but in this whole area of high pressure up here, once again, is going to start to break off and head towards the south, so definitely looking at another possible cold surge later on this week, bringing much cooler temperatures throughout much of Taiwan, the Ryukyu Islands here, and even all the way down towards the Philippines, and we could see another area of convection set up here, just like the last one, which could spawn up another area and possible something convective and tropical here in the South China Sea. Nothing too much should develop out of it, but definitely just need to watch that as this whole code search starts to develop. But now moving out a little bit farther towards the west here into the Bay of Bengal. Fairly quiet actually out here for the most part, but this overall area of convection here just west of Thailand been causing a lot of problems here around the Phuket region. I know that the regatta had some issues a few days ago there. And now this overall easterly wind here actually being influenced by this area of low pressure out here, or the overall tropical depression out here in the South China Sea. But as that starts to dissipate off, we're actually going to see a gradual shift from the winds from the north here and eventually back from the east, so definitely going to see the monsoonal winds start to set in by the next 48 hours to later on this week. But locally over the region right now, definitely not seeing too many thunderstorms out there. Have the sea breeze setting up in the main part of the peninsula here, but most of the convection looks like it is remaining offshore for the time being. And as we see here, though, as I talked about the wind flow just a second ago, coming from the north by this evening into tomorrow, so hopefully it should start to abate many of the seas out there along the west coast of Thailand so they can kind of pick up that mess out there. You can see the winds begin to shift from the east here, basically in the wake of the next cold surge out here, which you really can see kind of setting up here with all these strong winds extending from up here towards Ryukyu Islands all the way down towards the South China Sea. But that's actually going to shift this overall wind flow back around, so should bring much of the winds offshore. Now, right here I am looking at the 17th in the morning, so definitely not really going to see that entire shift of the winds until later on this week and into the weekend. But for today, everybody, thank you once again for listening to WesternPacificWeather.com. If you have any more information, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can post them into the comment box to the right, or you can also email me here at WesternPacificWeather.com. Also posting this at storm2k.org. There's a thread there on this tropical depression 19W on the coast of Vietnam. So I hope you enjoyed the update. I'll have another one tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.